What up, it's your boy Zeals back in here. How you guys doing? Whether you're on Thanksgiving holiday or not, grab some snack or a drink. I got some hot tea. If my voice is acting crazy, I'm still under the weather. The number one question that I got on all forms of social media before I even got up was, how is the new artifact? Please, can you review it? Is it good on Horus? Is it good on fill in the blank hero here? Guys, can I get some sleep? Alright guys, anyways, I love waking up every Friday morning to event-related questions. Everybody take a sip of your drink and relax, calm down. I got you more than you know it. As you guys see from the background video, once again, thank you Monkey for letting me get my test on. I'm always grateful for my guildies, so shout out to Sharks on iOS 16. He did go insane again with his wallet, and that's a given by now. Since I've been covering more about his account than mine, this week, he's embraced us with another E3 Michelle, which he swapped out his AS model for. And also straight out of the left field, he pooped out a third E3 Valkyrie. Now you're going to see some clips of these new guys in the background. Now you may remember me saying before that 3 Valkyries are an overkill, as I'll discuss through the video text. So of course, me being me, had to take them out for a drive along with the new artifact, the Kiss of Ghost. Hot sexy name if you asked me. I'm going to try to touch up on the majority of the questions people asked throughout the day in a simple and dry format. Hopefully, right? First, I'm going to discuss the new artifact. Second, how it fits in the current PvP endgame heroes. And third, other aspects of the game such as PvE. And ultimately, if it's an artifact that'll either shake up the meta or team synergy or change the tier list, and if it's worth however much money you'll need to cough up. I know for my free Team Up Arena teammate, Ultra Hypersonic Megalodon Monkey, he's paid the full price of every package this week, since he doesn't really save orbs or anything else, to be honest. He doesn't really care because he buys every pack every week anyways without fail. It can total up to roughly $710, while for those who save probably less than $300. Now let's get into it, boys. The Kiss of Ghost fully maxed is 25% attack, 100% armor break, keyword armor break, not armor reduce, and 14% HP. Remember, armor break only affects the target with the armor break stat, so on one hero, while armor reduce reduces the armor for all your ally heroes. Alright, so it's gonna lower, let's say you're fighting against one opponent. If you have armor reduce, it's going to reduce it for all your buddies. If you have armor break, it's only going to reduce it for the guy with the armor break. This artifact is great. It's definitely going to populate itself on my tier list, which will be upgraded to version 1.4, so stay tuned for that. Now, I'm not going to pull up the tier list so you guys can enjoy some of these insane, and I mean insane endgame fights. However, I'll just put it up as an overlay and quickly go over the relevant heroes in the meta. For god tier heroes on my list, Valkyrie and Belrain, the artifact will not be the best since majority of Valk's damage comes from her dots that bypass all armor and damage reduction anyways. Also, swapping out Rune's power will lower her offensively and defensively. For Buffrain or Belrain, her job is to stay alive and heal as long as possible while pumping out actives to supply or apply the healing boost effect. So she'll benefit the most with Magic Stone Sword in being consistent with having that nice sweet damage reduction and attack boost. Now in tier 1, the artifact is a clear winner for Mim in terms of pure damage, surpassing Sword of Justice. Remember, holy damage works for Mim's last passive, and that's why Sword of Justice provided the most raw damage before. However, with the introduction of the Kiss of Ghost, all armor is bypassed, so Mim's last passive will be in full effect. Let's stop here for a quick second. There are 2 types of damage mitigators. One is of course armor, and the other is damage reduction. Armor break does not lower damage reduction, just like holy damage doesn't either. Also, a quick reminder, at 100% armor break, attack clearly wins over holy damage percent for percent. This artifact will also be Horus's best, once again in terms of raw damage in both PvP and PvE. You may be surprised by this, but I'll explain with Amuvor in a bit. It's also the best raw damage output artifact for Xia, since bleeds are affected by armor break as well. It's also best for attack build Valentino. King Barton works for his last passive, and once again, Amuvor. Now, for Amuvor, the Kiss of Ghosts may not have been too obvious for a lot of idlers. However, numbers don't lie. I spent literally 90 minutes Amuvor using his round 1 active, and I smashed that skip fight button over and over countlessly. I know it sounds like a freaking nerd, but I did it. I nerded it out for you guys. I'm not going to include that since the video may be 2.5 hours long if I included all the skips and the actual fights themselves, so it's gonna be in the background right now. Also, I chose to test it versus Michelle, who has relatively mid-range armor value. Of course, the lower the armor a target has, the less the armor break is worth. The higher the armor value, the more armor break is worth. You know, of course, the active, right? I tested it on both crit and attack stone Amuvors. One has a crit stone, one has an attack stone. Just for you guys, I wanted to make sure I was testing it right. So for crit Amuvor, the Kiss of Ghosts was a clear winner by roughly 10% per active skill crit ceiling, all right? So the crit damage, right? It had a bigger ceiling by 10%. However, on attack stone Amuvor, staff Punisher of Immortal was marginally better than the Kiss of Ghosts. This conclusion was factoring higher burst ceiling damage, non-crit damage, and crit chance consistency, right? So attack, for example, attack stone Amuvor is not going to consistently crit without using staff and using the skin and all of that stuff, right? And the assassin set. Oh yeah, and both of these Amuvors had the assassin set, of course. Now let me remind you that Amuvor's max HP portion of his active already bypasses armor and cannot crit. So the only thing that armor reduction or armor break is affecting is the 300% portion. The text that says 300% of his attack, right? That's the only portion where crit as well as armor break is affecting. So while as attack stone Amuvor, you'll see more crits and higher crit damage ceiling with staff Punisher of Immortal. I also tested which Amuvor had better results over 150 iterations, and crit stone gave more consistent results since dealing unhealable damage is the key at the moment in the meta. However, overall the GVE team that I used was inconsistent and had a win rate of 45% in offense versus this well-built another Megalodon's redemption team. We're going to dive really deep into GVE in the upcoming video, and if you don't know what GVE is, that's okay. Alright, GVE means good versus evil. It's an aura that consists of 3 light heroes and 3 dark heroes. So I'm going to be covering that really in detail in the upcoming video. I don't know when it's gonna be, hopefully before Wednesday. I'm really excited for that, so stay tuned. So Zeals, if that's the result for God and tier 1 heroes, shouldn't we all grab this? On paper, it's a yes. However, we live in a meta called attack reduce, attack steal meta. I know you hear me say this over and over in every single video, so this is mostly for the newcomers, all right? So it's not so clear, cut and dry is what I'm saying. Having high attack makes you a target for Xia and allows for more attack steal to those who have the attack steal. Also, higher the attack value, the more attack you will lose through reduce or steals. Also, the new artifact doesn't come with either CC reduction or damage reduction, which are very critical right now as of this moment. For the future, we don't know. Redemption aura teams with double Xias will stomp out Amuvors, and that's one of Amuvor's weaknesses. No matter how many times I skip fights, Amuvor with attack or crystone or new artifact or staff could not one-shot a Xia or Valentino in the round 1 actives. So build your Xias correctly, boys, if yours is getting one shot in round 1. In PVE, the artifact also looks great on paper. However, since it doesn't collectively reduce the armor of a target for all your ally heroes, it'll benefit the sole hero it's on. Also, if you're already bringing an armor reducer like Sigmund or Mim, for example, the value of this artifact does diminish. In conclusion, it's a worthy and powerful artifact. Of course, good to have around in your arsenal. However, the $1,000,000 question is, if you're a whale, this doesn't even apply to you, right? So the question is, should you pay $700 like Monkey did? I'm not joking, by the way. He literally paid that much. Of course, it also came with a ton of other goodies, like hundreds of fodder from using 240 orbs, event rewards, etc. So I know most of you guys are not like a whale or a monkey who just, they don't save anything. They just spend everything. They can afford to get away with that. So I know you guys, the general population, you're into saving mode right now, and you probably have, you know, anywhere from 80 to maybe 150 to 60 profit orbs, right? So should you pay $100 to $300 for this artifact? You know, since you're a good boy or a good gal and went into this event with some, you know, orb save, that value factor is ultimately up to you, friends. $700 or even $200 to $300 for me equals saving me nightmares in terms of editing videos and producing faster and better quality content for you guys. So as much as I would love to go ham this event, it's a clear and dry no, all right, for me, okay? Unless some unforeseen miracle happens. As for this week, the events are lit. They are so well stacked and synced. Value packs give a lot more per buck, and all the currencies given are necessary in completing all the rewards, as you'll need orbs, chips, and the gems, especially the higher VIP you are. As for the VIP rewards, you should prioritize towards the feathers or the heroes you need first. Trickle down from there if you can afford to do so with your gems. If you're a Megalodon, then just gobble everything up, buy whatever you want. As for me, I'll order my purchases from the highest VIP rewards that contain high amounts of feathers and light or dark elite shards, then the feathers plus whatever I need. Since I don't need King Barton for say, I may lean towards elite shards with the 5 chips, including the feathers, of course, right? I personally am going to grab the 100th tier for the 7th Xia, and if I receive any donations or help, I may try to get the Amuvor tier as well, because that skin animation, as you see today, is just another major level. But that's doubtful, I don't know. Alright, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thanks again to Monkey and Saika for being a cool benefactor and sponsoring the last 2 giveaways. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I had fun testing for you guys. This week I did hit 4,000 subscribers. Holla! Growing so quickly thanks to you guys. Come join me on Discord, as our server also hit 4,100 idlers. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. I swear you guys will get all the spoilers for the next video and you'll be notified when it goes live. Also, thank you to my newest patrons, Ghern as well as Gaia. Welcome aboard the hype train. Fist pump, bam, I'm out. Peace.